everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday, so that means it's time for some Dollar Tree crafts. These are the items that I am going to be using from the Dollar Tree, those foam hearts, 2 scarves, and some florals that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. So what we're going to do is we are going to take these scarves and we are going to start wrapping them around this foam heart. So I just start at the bottom and I use some hot glue, and then I just start pulling the scarf through and holding it pretty tightly as I pull the scarf through, because you want to make sure that you have enough scarf to cover the whole foam heart. So what I'm doing is I am really holding it too as I'm pushing it tightly around, and I'm just going to keep wrapping it all the way around the whole foam Valentine wreath. Now this was super fun and super easy to make. I actually still see these scarves at the Dollar Tree. I go to all different Dollar Trees to try and find my things. I know I've gotten questions like, your Dollar Tree must have everything, because I'm not finding these items at my Dollar Tree. I don't just go to one Dollar Tree. I go to quite a few Dollar Trees. So you have to really shop around. And when you see things come out and you know you want to do something, and now that you watch my channel, pick it up, because you never know, I'm probably going to do a craft on it. So now I'm going to take this other one, and I'm using a different scarf. This is also one of the Valentine's Day scarves that they had, and I decided to use this stripe one as well. And I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just wrapping it around, and I'm kind of separating a little bit, making sure it's not all knotted, just making sure that it looks nice and neat and pretty as I go around my wreath. Then when I get to the end, I'm going to hot glue it again and then cut off the excess. Now to make these even more high-end looking, I decided to add a couple of these roses on the bottom part of one of my wreaths. And I'm also going to include some of these baby's breath. Now all these floral picks I got at Dollar Tree. So everything you see here is from the Dollar Tree. So this practically costed nothing to make these. So now what I'm doing is I'm just putting in this last baby's breath. And then what you're going to see me do is I am going to make a bow. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have trouble making bows. Bows are like the hardest part of these crafts that I'm doing are bows, believe it or not. But I am going to keep practicing. So what I did is I flipped this over about 5 inches, and I flipped it over 6 times. Then I'm going to come with this one, another 5 inches, the smaller ribbon, and I'm going to flip this one over the same amount of times. Then once I get to the end, what I do is I cut it off, and then I'm just going to use a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to twist tie it, bunch them together in the middle first, and then I'm going to use my little twist tie, which is a pipe cleaner. They do have floral tie. You can use anything that's a tie. And then I'm just going to start pulling the loops out like that. Now when I'm pulling them out, I'm actually pulling them up too. So there is my bow. And that's how I did it. But you could do your bows any way you want. This is just one of the ways I found that was easy for me. But I am practicing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two kind of offsetting each other, so just so that they're kind of like that, kind of, I don't know how to say it, but like one on top of the other, like that, in the corner. And then I decided to glue on this little craft foam heart in the middle of my bow, and there it is. So now for the next Dollar Tree item, I am going to use another scarf. Now this one I thought was really cool, this scarf I found at the Dollar Tree. And I'm also using the clear plates from the Dollar Tree. And also the Mod Podge is from the Dollar Tree. And the little jewels that I'm going to be using are actually from Walmart. That was the only thing that wasn't from the Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this whole plate. I turned it upside down. And I'm going to cover the whole plate with the Mod Podge. Now what this does is it's going to help my scarf to stick really, really well. So I really put a lot of this on because I want to make sure my scarf is really going to stick to the back of this plate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the scarf over it like so. And then I'm just going to press down, smooth it out, make sure there's no bubbles at all. And then once it dried, which I gave it about 15 minutes, and then I just trimmed the excess scarf off the edges of my plate. So that is all. And this scarf is super cute because it has these little hearts that are kind of hanging on a clothespin on a little line. And I thought that was super pretty. So now these gems that I got from Walmart have little lips in them, and they have little diamonds in them, and they also have hearts in them. So I decided to go around the whole edge of my plate with my glue gun. Now, I will warn you, I used my glue gun and some of them started falling off. So I had to go back in with my other permanent glue, which can be any glue that you have that's a permanent glue. I used the 6000 glue, and that helps it last, and it'll stay on that way. So that's what I did. So now what I'm doing is I'm making a rough bow right now. I'm just using Dollar Tree ribbon, and this is called like a messy bow. I'm just cutting as big as you want it to be. I wanted mine not to be too big. So I cut a bunch of strips of ribbon like that, all the same size. And now I'm just going to take some floral wire and I'm going to tie it off in the middle, in the center of it. And that's my messy bow. That's it. Super easy. It looks rustic. I love it. This has got to be my favorite bow to make because it's so easy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that down at the bottom of my plate just to give it a little more decoration to it. And then once I glue that down, I am going to stick I believe I stick another gem in the middle of that as well. One of the heart gems I believe I stick in between it. But I did use my E6000 glue to make sure that that stayed adhere as well. Not just the gems, but I also used it for my bow. So now once I adhered that, now I'm going to stick on my little heart gem in the middle of my bow just to finish it off. And there it is. Isn't that cute? Now remember, you don't eat off of these plates. These are only meant for decor purposes. So now next, I'm going to be making a 3-tier Valentine's tray. So what I'm using is I'm using 3 dog bowls, 10 dog bowls that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm also using some floral, and I'm also using 2 empty ribbon spools that you saw. Now what I'm doing first is I'm coming in with some chalk paint. This is Waverly chalk paint. I get it at Walmart. It's very cheap. It's not expensive at all. And I painted the bowls, I think I did 3 coats. And I also painted my little spools. And now this heart that I got at Dollar Tree, I'm going to paint it with pink chalk paint, the same kind, Waverly. And this one is called Ballet Slipper. And I did sand down the other side that had the, I'm using the back side of this heart to paint, but I did paint the other side as well. But first I did use my, my sanding block to sand it down to get the excess glitter off of it. So then I could paint it and it would be smooth. So now after these were done drying, I decided to come in with some of the Waverly ink. It's called ink, but it's a black chalk paint. And I wanted to make it look more rustic. So I came in with a little sponge and I actually just did my little sponge on it and made those little black marks like you see there. So now I used some stickers that I had these puffy stickers for a while, and I decided to come out and I put on the heart. I put all you need is ... and then I put on each bowl love, hugs, and Jesus. And that is what my bowls say in the front. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking those spools of um, ribbon that was on them that are empty now that I painted also with the chalk paint, and I'm sticking them down in the middle of my bowls. So I did the bottom one first, and then I hot glued it, and then I stuck the next bowl on the top, and I'm doing that again with the smaller bowl, just like that. So I made a 3-tier bowl tray. There it is. Love, hugs, and Jesus. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some craft foam, and I'm just going to kind of tuck it in my bowls. And I know it's hard to see at this angle, but what I'm doing is I'm just shoving it in there, and I'm hot gluing it down the foam because I want it to stay put. And then I'm going to come in with my floral pieces, and I'm just going to start pushing them through the foam. Now what I did with the floral pieces is I used white roses, pink roses, and also a little bit of greenery. And what I did is I'm just using the bulbs of the just like a tiny stem part of it to stick through, and then the bulbs. I didn't just use the whole stem and stick it in because it's too long for the bowls. So it's a very short space that you have in between your bowls to be able to stick flowers. So you just kind of want to fill it up. So I went in with the pink and white ones. I did put in a few red ones, and then I went in with just the plain pink ones as well. And these are all Dollar Tree that I stuck in here. So everything was from the Dollar Tree except for the chalk paint. And then I came in with some of these florals. These were white little pretty pebbles. They're just really super pretty flowers. And I don't know what they were called though, I'm sorry. And I stuck those in between as well. So I kind of just made my own little arrangement, and you just kind of keep going with it. Whatever you like, you do it your way. This was the way I did mine. I just kind of did like every other one, or one on each side and one on the other side, and then just kind of filled in the gaps where there were spaces, basically. And now on the top, I'm going to put that big heart that I covered, and it says all you need is ... And I'm going to stick some craft foam on the top, and also stick some roses, and also stick some baby's breath. And there it is, the finishing project. So I hope you guys like it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and I will be back again with some more DIYs, Valentines. Thanks for watching. Bye.